that local government so desperately needs. Thank you.
Jane Hunt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I just take a few minutes of your time, if I may. Just first of all, to register my members' interests with members here today. Although I'm no longer a borough councillor, I was until last May, and I understand I have to still report it until 12 months have passed. I would like to thank, first of all, the Department, DLUC, and ministers past and present, because £600 million additional money is a significant increase and very, very welcome indeed, and thank you very much indeed. I'd also like to thank, in particular, Leicestershire County Council, Charnwood Borough Council, and my parish and town councils, and those across the whole of the county. My colleagues there do wonderful work, and so do the officials, and I'm much appreciative of what they do. Now, I won't go into too much detail about the issue about fairer funding, because it is well rehearsed with ministers past and present from all of the Leicestershire MPs who have lobbied continuously since 2019 and before I was here, I understand, with many a minister, many a Secretary of State and many a Chancellor as well. So all I would say is fairer funding formula. The operative word is fairer, and it's not being met at the moment. So if we're able to do something about that in the future, the very near future, I would be most grateful. Certainly, the well-rehearsed arguments on the rural area member for West Dorset mentioned, I thoroughly support what he said. And also my honourable friend, the member for Ruislip Northwood and Pinner, always worth listening to him, and many of the things he talked about was exactly what I was going to talk about as well. But I don't like to moan. I prefer to come up with a solution if I possibly can. And so what I would like to suggest is something along the lines of the member for St Austell and Newquay in the police debate earlier on this afternoon talked about the police having their resources being used by other departments, such as Department of Health. And I think that's the same with DLUC and indeed council resources. And the member for York Central alluded to it so somewhat with the EHCPs. Now, I did a surgery last Friday evening, 8 slots, 2 of them about EHCPs, exactly the same the week before, only it was 3 EHCPs. And I think there's something about the County Council having statutory responsibility for delivering EHCPs, and yet health can say what they want to within the H part of an EHCP, and yet do not have to deliver those resources. The County Council feel they have to. And that puts additional cost and additional time on that 20-week window for an EHCP. And I'd like to see something done about that. So the department that asks for the thing to be done actually pays for it. And the exact same thing happens with my borough council with supported housing benefit, where the DWP, because I have some charities which are not registered social landlords, the council cannot claim the whole of the benefit back from the DWP, and are therefore out of pocket by about £1.5 million. Well, that is simply unsustainable on a budget of about £16 million a year. And so what I'd like to be able to see is that instead of DLUC's customers, councils, paying for those things, the department that wants those things to be done pays for those things. And so when the Minister at the beginning, the opening remarks, talks about spending being on frontline services, I absolutely agree with that, but also spending by councils on things that they want to do, not necessarily not being able to get money back from other departments. And that's my conclusion. Thank you.
Liz Truss.
Thank you, Sir Roger.